record this. Okay, so we're having the Success Looks Like Me career fair. It is a very cool event. So cool event alert, alert, alert. You get to learn about a bunch of different people, and there are 5 different panels that are coming for 5 different opportunities. So very cool. The first one is on business and entrepreneurship. This is like if you want to own your own business someday or you want to start a business. We're hearing from a bunch of different people who are CEOs as well as directors and founders of cool places. So we have panel 1 that's at 10 a.m. on Friday. We also have a fashion panel coming. I know we have a few of you in here who really like fashion, so this would be super, super cool. We have someone coming from Bloomingdale's, someone, the president and CEO of 5001 Flavors, and then the creative director for a company. So very cool fashion organization here. We have a panel for computer science and engineering, our STEM panel. So we have a product designer from Facebook coming, which is pretty cool, pretty fancy. Someone coming from Apple and someone coming from Northrop. So some pretty cool like computer science and engineering people are coming. That one is at noon on Friday. At 1 p.m. on Friday, we're doing medicine and nursing. I know many of you want to be doctors or nurses, pediatricians or surgeons. So there's a neurosurgeon coming, the executive director of Cedars-Sinai, which is a medical center, a hospital, and then another executive director as well. So this should be pretty cool for medicine and nursing. And then finally, our last one is at 2 p.m. It's on psychology, therapy, and counseling. So I know some of you guys want to do this as well. So there's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, you could learn the difference between them, and a clinical social worker coming. When are they? Great question. They are all happening on Friday, right? They're all happening on Friday. Business and entrepreneurship at 10, fashion at 11, computer science at noon, medicine and nursing at 1, and psychology and counseling at 2. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the chat right now. Let me drop that link in. So I'm going to drop this link. That will take you, let's see if I can actually like click this link real fast. That link is going to take you to the webinar sign up page. So give it a second to load. What you're going to do if you want to sign up, because they're run through an outside organization called Windward Academy. The first one, this is a college application with Dartmouth. We don't care about the first one, although that does sound cool. The next, like places where you would want to register are here. So if you want to go to the business and entrepreneurship, you press this blue button and register. If you want to go to the fashion one, you press this blue button. You want to go to the computer science and engineering one, you press this one. You want to go to the medicine and nursing, you press that one. And if you want to go to psychology, therapy, and counseling, you press this one. So you're going to sign up, you're going to register by going to those blue buttons there. And then then they will probably send you a link with like what time or like what the link is for each of them. If not, then you can ask me and I have the link for the Zoom. These are like the individual Zooms. I'm not going to pass those out because you need to sign up if you want to go to them. I think that it is super, 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 super important that we like listen to and hear from people who do all kinds of stuff so that we can learn more about careers that we're interested in. Plus, many of your junior peers are student monitors or helping to put this event together. So I am going to offer, even though it's not extremely math related, I'm going to offer extra credit for each session that you attend. So if you want to go to one of them, that'd be awesome. If you want to go to more than one, I will give you more extra credit. If you want to go to all 5, I will give you 5 times the extra credit at the end of the quarter. I know many of us love to get that extra credit. So if you attend, I will grab the attendance and make sure that you get that extra credit. Are there any questions about any of the super awesome, rad panels that are going to be going on Friday. Yes, you do have to sign up. So if you want to sign up, you're going to go to here, sign up. Christine's going to go to all 5. Yes, extra credit on extra credit on extra credit. How do we show you that we attended? I will get the attendance link from the Zoom call. So you don't have to tell me. Yep, no problem. Any other questions? Nope, not right now. Cool. Thanks, Kayla. How do we put that we heard about this? You can just say your teacher, you heard about it from your teacher or from your school. Yeah, you can put from school. So if you're on the form, it's asking how you heard about it, you can just say from school. Yep, or you can put my name if you want. Yep, awesome. Okay, super pumped that y'all are gonna sign up for that. My last announcement for today is we are having bonus office hours today. I sent an email out this morning from 3 to 4, so pretty much right after my call, 3 to 4. In my Zoom, you can find Mr. Langdon, Ms. Ortiz, and me and Ms. Cole. So all of us will be there if you need any questions. Okay, let's jump into it. Whew, we had a lot of announcements today. All right, so I'm going to answer some project questions, and then I'm gonna walk you through the document. So your logos are due today. Woohoo! Most of us are in a really good place. Some of us are like, wait, what? If you are a person who's like, wait, what? What was I supposed to do? What have we been doing for the last 3 weeks? I would love to check in with you because I might have an alternative plan for you. But we will get to that in a moment. So for right now, what I need for you to do, I'm going to drop a form in the chat. Good question, Moses. I will get there in a moment. I'm going to drop this form in the chat. If you could please go ahead and open up that form. When you go to that form, you're going to see something that looks like this. We're going to go through part of it. Right, I want all of us to do this form. Even if you've done literally nothing for my class this semester, still want you to fill out this form. Super duper important. So this is your participation credit for today, right? So I want you to make sure that you get your credit. You are going to, so grades, just had this question in the chat. When are your modules closing? My modules are closing tomorrow, Wednesday, right? Tomorrow, Wednesday at 11:59. That is when my modules are closing. If you are star, and you know that one of your accommodations is extended time, you do have extended time. You have until Sunday. But please make sure that you know that you are that person. Everybody else, the modules are closing Wednesday, tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. That means in about 24 hours, you will have about 8 hours left or 10 hours left. So 30 something hours is when my modules are closing. So the first thing you're going to do on this form, you're going to log into Illuminate and you're going to check the boxes of any assignments that are missing, right? So any assignments that are missing. If you don't have any that are missing, darn it, I really should have made that happen. Hold on, unless you're already, wow, some people have already submitted. I'm very impressed. I'm going to make a none option so you can reload that page if you need to. So if you want to reload it, I'm going to go ahead and reload it because that is a required question. So we'll reload. Here we go. All right. Okay, so we're checking our grades. I want to make sure that there are those options. And I am not going to make an option for quiz retakes because only pre-calculus had quiz retakes. So I don't want to confuse everyone because most of the people on this call did not have any quizzes to retake. Yeah, but you can know it in your head. Thank you for that reminder though. So I'm closing my grade book tomorrow. You are selecting the assignments that you need to submit or resubmit, right? Antoine, if you need an option for none, darn it, my thing really didn't go. Select option 12. I don't know why it's called option 12. It should be none.
It is none,
Oh,
Miss. When on ours, when you fill it out, it says none.
oh, that's good. Okay, so if you need a refresh, now it says none. That's good. Thanks, Lily. Antoine, try refreshing. Okay, Ari, I really like that question. I'm going to answer it when we get to the logo section. But I promise I'll answer it. If I don't, ask it again. Okay, so for logos, I want to know where you are right now, right where you are right now. So you're going to go to your Desmos link and you're going to send me that link. There are 2 reasons I want to know where you're at. Even if you've only done 1 equation, right, I still want to know that. There are 2 reasons. One is so just in case something happens and you don't turn in your assignment tonight, I still have something to grade. And number 2 is so that I can just like check it out beforehand. Yes, links are here. Link is there. Ozzy, Mia, I don't know what you mean. Like you can't find the work that you've already done. If you don't need to resubmit anything, you should have a none option. Mia, you can go to the last like PT4 or PT5, that the last thing that you submitted, and you submitted me a link there, so you could go click on that link if you haven't done anything since then. Or you can go to desmos.com and make sure that you log in. Okay, we can talk about that. Ale, that is a question about the logo, so I'm going to hold off for a second. If you don't have your link, you can go to desmos.com. Desmos.com/calculator. And then once that loads, you're going to log in right here. It's on the top corner. Brandon, you're going to need to refresh your page, refresh the form, or click on the form again. All right, once you log in over here, you're going to click this button and you should see the things that you've been working on here. Once you log in. All right. So you're going to pop in your Desmos link. If you have any questions, so I'm getting tons of really awesome questions in the chat. If you have any questions, you can put them on your form. If you have a way that I can best support you, you can put that there. And anything that you need to tell me, you can put right here. Okay. Anything that you need to tell me. I'm looking at a ton of responses. I'm going to check out the question section just to make sure we answer all the questions. Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm looking at these questions. I love these questions. I'm going to answer a few of them. And then I will answer a few of them in the slides, and then I'll answer the rest of them as we go. So, oh, come on. There we go. All right. So we've got our quick form. I'm up to 72 responses, which is pretty solid. There's 100 of us though, so we could do a little better. In the meantime, great, we're up to 70. Yes, awesome, glad to see you all coming in. We're at 76. Give it a couple more minutes. Ale, do I have to make lines tracing the shadow too? No, you don't. That's 100% up to you. Do not have to trace the shadow. Mira, I'm gonna have you work on those missing assignments instead. Marcy, we can go through sideways parabolas for sure. Definitely, thank you for bringing that up. Zephyr, we can go through that as well. Emily, if you could tell me what your question is in the chat, that would be great. Mia Hernandez, I am going to answer that question in just a second. Jennifer, I'm happy to help. Yeah, Kiara, I'm gonna explain. Doesn't match. I'm gonna explain the answer to your question, Antoine, in just a moment. Okay. Okay, we're at a good place. So if I could have everyone's attention back here. I know some of us are like have wandered into a different world. I'm gonna go ahead and go through some slides, which I think will answer a lot of our questions. At the end of the slides, I'm gonna answer all of your questions, as many as I can, and I will stay on as long as I need to in order to make sure that we get them answered. So first things first, we've had a lot of questions about like, do I have to do every single thing on my logo? And the answer is no. It is okay to not complete everything, right? We want to work to make sure that it looks finished, right? So the goal is that it looks finished. So for example, this is one student that I had, or one pair that I had from last year. Their logo for DigiPen University, or Institute of Technology, did include this Institute of Technology, but they chose not to finish Institute of Technology on their document here, right? So they chose not to complete that on their logo. That was because they weren't going to be able to finish, right? And they wanted to make sure that they made it look finished. You might notice, like, you can't even tell once you take the picture away, you can't even tell that there was supposed to be Institute of Technology along here, and their logo looks finished. So our goal is to make sure the logo looks finished. For this one, so as another example, you have sort of two options here, right? So let's say someone was turning in this one that was on the left, you can clearly see that the GCU is not finished, versus this one on the right here. This one, they don't have like the little lightning bolts, but it definitely looks more finished, okay? So what I would argue is that it is much better to do this one on the right than to do this one on the left. Obviously, if you can finish everything, that is awesome. But if you're not going to finish, then I would highly recommend that you do the parts that will make it look most finished, okay? This one has 10 lines missing, as well as this one has 10 lines missing, but the one on the right looks much more finished, okay? Similarly, this was one project that was submitted last year. I would argue that they could have done better. They would have done better if they had just made it look like a C here, rather than trying to do the inside here, right? It's clear that they ran out of time. And so my argument would have been to make it look finished, they could have done the inside of the C and then been finished, okay? One thing I really appreciated about this person's project from last year was they were supposed to do this like tree here, right? There was much more to their logo, but they were supposed to do this tree on the state, and they were like, nah, I can't finish it in time. I want to make it look finished. And so they made a Christmas tree. When you take away the background, right, it is easy to, when you take away the background, it's easy to be like, oh yeah, that looks like state with the tree there, right? So we want to make sure that it does look finished. If you have time, you can make the colors and thickness different. So you can change the colors. You click and hold on the little circle, and then you can change this number, will change the thickness, and then the color will change here. Okay, so you can change the color and thickness. If you do have time, changing the color and the thickness can make it look super pro. So this is one way that they had thought about submitting it, and then they changed all of those lines to purple, and I went through and changed the thickness, and you can see that it does look better if it is like, if you've thought a little bit about the colors. I think they were very thoughtful about making this eye orange, and I really appreciated that about their logo. Okay. Another way that you can make it look better is by cleaning up your stray edges. As you can see with this picture here, they had some stray places where like the lines didn't quite meet or they extended too far. That is definitely a way to make your project better. And then finally, another way to make it better is to put your equations into folders, right? To put your equations into folders. So for example, they had the N equations in a folder, the little n, the little a, v, and y, and then they had the man in a folder and the star in a folder. And so you have each of those. For the folders, they do not need to be super specific. If you want to do like, these are all the red lines and these are all the blue lines, you can do it that way. If you want to do it the way that this team did it with the N and the A and the V and the Y, that is fine. If you want to do it like, these were my partner's equations and these were their partner's equations, you can. It just should have some type of organization, right? If you want to do top left and bottom right or whatever. How do you do the folders? Yes, I'm about to show on Desmos. So on Desmos, I'm gonna be, who am I gonna be today? Where's my Colorado one? That's not helpful. Then oh, there we go. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Colorado graph. So here is my Colorado graph. It has some items on here. Let's say I wanted to make this one. I want to put this one in a folder. It is in my Buffalo outline folder here. I'm going to click on this one. This is the blue line here. That's a part of the Buffalo outline. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it into the Buffalo outline section. You make a new folder by clicking up here and going down to the plus sign and going down to folder. And then I could say, okay, I'm going to put the equations that are related to maybe the belly of buffalo, right? And then I'd say, okay, this one is, so I'm going to drag that into belly, and this one is, I'm going to drag that into belly. The folders allow you to turn on and off multiple equations at the same time, and they allow you to organize it the way that you would like to organize it. So that is how we do folders. There is a question about how to turn the grid lines off. The way to turn the grid lines off, you go to the graph settings here. You're going to go to grid, uncheck that, y-axis, uncheck, x and y-axis, uncheck both of them. And that is going to allow you to see just your picture like that. And then you're going to go ahead and turn off the background. That allows you to see just your lines. Right, so it doesn't look very exciting. If I go to Willamette here, oh, that was one I was messing with too. If I go to Northwestern, I can see lots of lines happening here. So I can turn off my grid, turn off the X and Y axis, and you can see it, the more professional one. All right, so that is, I think, majority of it. If you have more than one person on your team, right? So let's say that I'm working and my partner is working. What you are going to do is press this save button, and you are going to send your link to your partner. And one person is going to open up both links, both your link and your partner's link. You're going to open up both of them side by side, and you're going to copy and paste the equations until all the equations are in one link. Okay, so you're going to copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. It might take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many lines you have. We're going to copy and paste them until one person, until one like link has all of the equations on it. And that is how you will find your final logo. Okay. For your final I don't know what it's called, document, for your final document, you are going to click on, you're going to open up the document that works for you. Wait for it. So your final document, you're going to want to have your equations and your partner's equations. Your team is making one document. So if there are 4 of you on your team, all 4 people should be shared on that document, and all 4 people should be working on the same document. If you have 2 people on your team, both people should have it, right? Only one of you needs to turn it in. I don't need to grade it multiple times. Only one of you needs to turn it in. So if you and your partner are working together, one of you is going to turn it in. If you want to both turn it in, you can, but that will be slightly more annoying for me. All right. So you can delete these. I saw one question like, can we delete the examples? You can delete the examples if you want to, but you're going to go ahead and fill it in. And then remember that link that has everything, that has all of the equations for your entire project, that's going to go on to this line right here, right? So you're going to paste it in. And then finally, you're going to take 3 screenshots. You're going to take a screenshot with the picture turned on, a picture with it turned off, and a picture with it turned with the other one, with the grid lines turned off. So I'll show you what I mean. Let me go to my example here. One moment. So linked on Canvas, there is the option to see an example. And you can see what it should look like here. Okay. So you are all turning it in on one document. Everyone's equation should be there. Everyone's equation should be in the link. The link should show your entire document. And you are going to screenshot 3 screenshots for your document after you put in all of your equations. Give it one moment. Went too far. You can see this example on your own page. So on your final document, you're going to have your link, and you're going to have 3 different screenshots. 3 different screenshots. Okay, a couple questions about the folders. Do you only do the folders for your part or the whole logo when you and your partner share the equations? When you and your partner have shared the equations, that's when you should do the folder, right? Because you don't want to do the folders until you have already put all of your equations in one place. Folders are not optional, but you can still get an A without doing the folders. So that is an above and beyond idea. If you are done, 100% done, I want you to make sure that you have checked the rubric and that you have submitted it for your team, and then you may head out. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and answer questions. Can I repeat what I said about the folders? Yes. For the folders, you're going to combine all of your equations onto one link. And then once the link is there, then you're going to split your equations into the folders. Right? So the folders is probably one of the last pieces. Does each team member submit a link for the document? No. The only one person needs to submit the document. And the link is going to be the same for everyone because it will be the place where all of the partners' logos are together. So your completed logo will be this link that you put in here. Okay. All right. I know that there were some questions that people still have. Folders are, okay, it's up to you, as always, any part of your grade. Folders are a part of the rubric. So there are 12.5 points set aside for folders. If you choose not to do them, you will not get the 12 points. If you choose to make at least one folder, you will get at least 7 of those points. So I'd highly recommend making a folder, but as always, anything that you do, you can either do it or not, but you won't get they are in the rubric. So you want to double check that rubric. Okay, I'm going to stick around and continue asking questions or answering questions. If you would like to use your breakout room, you are more than welcome to jump into those breakout rooms. If you are someone who has not started the logo, please do reach out. Please make sure that you are talking to me. So you can go ahead and private message me. If you have not started a logo, go ahead and private message me. Yes, Caitlin, what's up?
So I still don't know how to do the to move the circle to a certain place, because I have the equation, but when I asked you, I didn't really understand it, what you meant.
Got it. Yeah. Can you send me the link that you are working with? Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. If you're sticking around to ask a question or to get some help, you are welcome to. Thank you, Jennifer, for messaging me. Just go ahead and put your question or your link into the chat. Question or link into the chat. Awesome. I'm going to get to these in the order that you sent them. Thank you. Caitlin, talk to me about what I'm looking at.
Okay, so I have to do the beak, and it has like this oval shape, which I have this sign, like all the way at the top, and like I did this equation, which should pop up. It's like a big circle. I just don't know how to move that circle or make it smaller to the nose.
To do, oh, I see this one right here. So you're gonna want to change, do like +1 +10. Yeah, so if you put a plus or minus right here, Caitlin, it should move it left and right. And then if you put a plus and minus here, oh, it's gonna move it like, it should move it like sort of up and down. So it's moving over there. And then if you change the 9 to a 10, it will, oh, looks like 1 is like gonna make it skinnier. So then maybe this one, that makes it skinnier as well. So maybe like 0.6 or 0.2. So the problem with this equation, Kaylin, is that it doesn't like act exactly, it's not as simple of an equation because of the division sign and because of the cosine and sine, right? So I actually think it would probably be like much easier to just make a parabola that goes like this and another parabola that goes like this and just have them cut off that way, rather than trying to like finagle this equation, because it doesn't follow, because they're both being divided by this number here. It's not gonna, the way that X and Y relate to each other is also related to this part of the equation here. So like if you put a +1 here, it's gonna move in another direction and it like changes the shape. So I think it's like probably not worth it, honestly, to try to use the shape.
Okay, so then how would you tilt the parabola sideways? Or
so I wouldn't tilt it. Yeah, I wouldn't tilt it. I would just make it go up and down like this. So I'd say y equals, I don't know where we're at. Y equals maybe like 2, well, it's always 1 x plus 1 squared plus 1. And then I want to move it up to +2. I'm going to change this to a 2. And I want to move it over to -20. I'll put this at like 20, like that. I'm gonna flip it over. And then maybe 22, 20.5. Yeah, there we go. And then maybe up here it's like 2 point something. 2.2 or 2.3, 2.25. Something like that. And then I would just cut it off here, Caitlin, and cut it off there. And then I would make an upside down one to go the other direction.
Thanks, Miss.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yeah, I just think the other one's gonna be like too complicated and maybe not worth your time. So I just copied and pasted that to you, Caitlin. Jennifer, thanks for sending your link. Melanie, I have a question on the top. It shows a picture of the math problems. Do we take a picture or do we write the math problems? I think you mean on this document, right? So they didn't want to copy and paste all of their equations. And Melanie, since you have so many equations, I think you probably don't want to copy and paste all of your equations into one place. So you're going to so they screenshotted their math. They've screenshotted all their equations and plugged in the pictures. Does that answer your question, Mel? Yeah, okay. Awesome. Oh, Jennifer. Cool. Marcy, for a sideways parabola, you're just going to use a regular parabola equation. So like this one. You're going to use a regular parabola equation, but it's going to start with x first and then y in the inside. So I'll copy this one to you. Try pasting this one, Marcy. Try copying and pasting that equation into yours. And then this number in front is going to make it wider, like normal. This one's going to move it up and down, and that one's going to move it left and right. Yeah, so let's start with that one. Jennifer, you need some help with the clause. This one here. So Jennifer, I would start, since this one is like a similar shape, I would just start by copying this equation and pasting it at the bottom like that. And then we need to move it like down to 25 maybe. So here we'll do 25 and then over to 20, something like that. Maybe down a little further, 26, or and then add a little bit more, so 20.5, something like that, and then maybe a little skinnier, so 3, something like that, I think. So I would continue to copy the ones that you already have, Jennifer, in order to make the clause that are here. So Jennifer, I would try that equation. Cool, awesome. Christine. Oh, Christine, were you helping with Caitlin's earlier question? Is that what you were saying for the ovals? Yes. Oh, that's super helpful. I think with Caitlin's, her oval, if it was just like a normal oval, I would have said that. But since her oval was like tilted, it became much more complicated. But yeah, you're right. That's a great equation for ovals. It's like exactly the same as a circle equation. It's just divided by a number. When you put that division in, it like stretches out the circle, for sure. Melissa is looking for help with the whiskers. Melissa, I don't see your link. Could you show me your link?